Today on WAtv News, we introduce you to the Mr Mack contestants, we go behind the scenes for worship team, and we talk about the most comfortable chairs at Wheaton Academy. And WAtv starts now. Good afternoon, Wheaton Academy. I'm Tegan Allison, and welcome to our 5th episode of the semester and our 29th of the year. The IHSA has opened and allowed the practice of many different sports throughout the newly assigned seasons, but one that is less talked about is cheer. Reporter Tyler Abrams gives us more on what the cheer schedule will look like this year.
The Wheaton Academy cheerleading team is finally able to participate with Wheaton Academy sports, albeit with strict conditions. Starting with practices, the team must stand at least 6 feet apart at all times, both inside and outside. When inside, they are prohibited from yelling and must practice talk cheering. In addition to these restrictions, the cheer team will not be cheering for the basketball team, as that would exceed the maximum number of occupants indoors during basketball games. During the football season, the cheer team is only allowed at home games and are primarily focusing on conducting chants on the sidelines as opposed to stunts in previous seasons. With halftime shows, it's unclear whether or not the cheer team will be allowed to perform during halftime, but there is still a possibility. Regardless of COVID restrictions, Mrs. Rinker is very excited to get the cheer team back on the field. She said, quote, "I'm really looking forward to start this new season, and I'm excited the IHSA has finally given everybody a green light for this. So let's see how this goes." From WAtv, I'm Tyler Abrams. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Tyler. The cheerleaders are always good at spreading school spirit. Chapels also play an important role in maintaining the spirit of our community. Matthew Johnston and Kenna Tolman give us an inside look at what goes on behind the scenes of the worship team.
Hello, Wheaton Academy. My name is Matthew Johnston. Today I'm outside of the FAC right now, and as you can see, it is daytime, and we all know that we have a talented worship team here at WAV. However, many of you might not know that once a week the worship team gathers here to practice behind the scenes for chapels.
Drums, bass.
Running chapel is more than just music on stage. We also have tech crew, making sure that everything runs smoothly.
My name is Robert Dieter. I do sound for the worship team, and I actually started doing sound in 7th grade. I did sound for the musical at my middle school, and I absolutely loved it, so I'm like, how can I get more involved? And when I was a freshman here at Wheaton Academy, I plugged in with Miss B, and I've been doing sound for chapels here at WA ever since. I have loved doing the worship team. It's been an amazing blessing in my life, and I really find that it enables me to help others to worship also, because my role is like totally behind the scenes, but it enables others to worship during chapels, especially now that everybody's in the classrooms.
Practicing in worship team means a lot more than just playing music.
I absolutely love the worship team, and one way that I best connect with the Lord is through music. It is such a privilege for me to be able to play and to lead others in such a special thing to me in playing music for the Lord and just being able to glorify Him with the gifts that He has given me and being able to connect with Him on a deeper level through music.
I started playing piano on the worship team when I was in 4th grade. My dad was the worship pastor, so he let me play just sort of for fun, and I got really into it. For chapels at WA, we meet about once a week the night before we play. One of my favorite things about being on the worship team is the community that we are building, and I love my bandmates, and it's super fun to be able to come together and play music, especially when being able to use that gift for God.
It is because of our hardworking worship team that we are able to experience the great chapels, especially this year with the major switch to live streaming into classrooms. From WATv News, I'm Kenna Tolman.
Thank you for the insight, Kenna and Matthew. Another thing that has affected our student body this year is lunch. Reporter Emma Vega gives us the community's opinion on this year's lunch changes.
This year, lunches have been different from last year. Last year, we had split lunches and all ate in the commons. This year, we have filled the classrooms of Wheaton Academy. We went around asking students which lunch system they liked better.
Really nice being able to move around, especially since we go outside a lot more now.
I'm not sure because this year is nice. We can kind of choose, but at the same time, it's hard to find the same room every time because teachers might have a meeting. Last year was nice, but also, I don't know.
I prefer this year because we don't have a lunch period like first period A or first period B.
I personally like this year's lunches better for even though there's COVID, mainly because it's all combined lunch and I won't have to worry of finding my friends as much.
I prefer this year's because I can go everywhere, and then now like the weather is better, I can go outside.
It's great to hear the community's opinion. Thank you, Emma. We're now going to send it over to Mr. Thornton for this week's Community Scoop.
Good afternoon, Wheaton Academy. Welcome to today's edition of the Community Scoop. I have two quick things for you as a community. The first is, as the weather gets warmer outside, you all will begin transitioning outside during the lunch hour. We want to encourage you to get back outside. We're going to work on setting up some seating out there for you to eat. And just wanted to remind you that when you are outside, there's some areas that we want you to eat lunch, some areas that we want you to stay away from. Please stay off the athletic fields, specifically the baseball field and the football and soccer field. We want to keep those free and clear of debris and lunch and all the refuse that is left behind. So just please honor that and stay off of those spaces and areas. Otherwise, we want to encourage you to get back outside, enjoy the weather, get the mask break for lunch as the weather warms up here. Second thing, we just completed our second night of returning student registration last night. However, it doesn't mean that it's too late to register for classes. When you got that course registration worksheet and advisory a couple weeks ago, we hope that you've had the chance to take a look at that with your parents. And if you didn't come to one of the registration nights, please bring that worksheet back with you. You can drop it off in student services with Mrs. Angie Roberts, or next week during advisory, you can bring it to your advisory group, give it to your advisor, and they'll bring it down to student services. And if we have any questions on our end in student services, we'll be reaching out to you to reconcile some of those questions and scheduling conflicts that we have. And we're hoping to get all of this done before spring break. So if you could be mindful of that, that would be much appreciated as we look ahead to the 2021-22 school year and getting all our course registrations ironed out. I hope you have a great afternoon and evening, Wheaton Academy. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Mr. Thornton. Are you still looking for your place at Wheaton Academy? You may want to check out the Craft Club. Greta Gustafson brings us more information on the unique offering.
From sewing and embroidery to mixed media paper projects, crafting has always been a unique hobby for all to be creative and have fun. So to encourage students' creativity, Miss Burek started the Artisan Craft Club.
I started the craft club because actually I did a craft class for Winterim, and I actually had a really great time running that class. And so I thought, well, what's a way to kind of keep the idea of that class? So I thought, well, if there's time at lunch that people want to just kind of come together and hang out and craft, I thought it could be a fun way to kind of get people together and start a little artisan club.
The Craft Club provides some limited materials such as paper, stamps, and watercolor paints, but students are also encouraged to bring materials from home to explore whatever craft they are working on.
It's open to every artist, non-artist, crafter, DIY person, anything. Anybody is welcome.
Through encouraging a variety of crafts, the club seeks to bring students together in a fun and relaxing environment.
I have a lot of ideas, but just, I guess for starters, really try to just build community and just have a nice, relaxing space for people to hang out and create things.
The Artisan Craft Club meets in the ceramics room every Monday at lunch. It is open for everyone to join. Whether you've been crafting for a long time or have never tried it before, the Artisan Craft Club is a welcoming place for you to connect with other students and practice your creativity. For WAtv News, I'm Greta Gustafson. Back to you at the desk.
This looks like a fun club. Thanks, Greta. While sitting in a school club, have you ever considered the type of chair you're sitting in? Oso Rocco interviewed students and faculty about their favorite chairs across campus.
Chairs. They're a very important part of our society. They help us when we need to sit, and they prevent our legs from cramping up. We ran around to figure out what were the best types of chairs here at WA.
Any chair with a cushion on it.
My favorite desk at WA would have to be this guy right here, and it's in room 106, and please don't take it. It's my best friend.
This is our favorite chair because it's very long and very comfortable.
It gives us a lot of room to spread out like we're doing now. I think my favorite chair would definitely need to be the science wing lab tables because you can like prop up your feet onto the bar underneath and it's like really nice to just relax.
My favorite chairs would probably be the ones in the library because they're like flat and like the stuff doesn't like fall off.
My favorite chair is my office chair, aka my classroom chair that I've had for 16 years. It's my ultimate favorite place on campus.
Well, I'll tell you, it used to be the pew where the trophy case now exists, but sadly it was taken from me.
I would say my favorite chair is the one Mr. McCallum has that he got out of a dumpster, and it's cut in half, and he glued it back together, and he still has it in his room, and I don't know why.
Okay, so no debate, like these chairs are the best by far because they cradle you. Like it's like being held by your mom as a baby. It's beautiful.
Now that you've heard and seen everyone else's favorite types of chairs, what's yours? Are they the ones in the FAC, the ones in the science building, or some other types of chairs we have never seen or heard of? Reporter Oso Rocco, back to you guys at the desk.
While you are considering whether that chair you are currently sitting in makes your top 3 list, maybe you should consider also getting off those chairs today with the warm weather. Emma Vega gives us more.
Thanks, Tegan. I'm Emma with the weather. We have a storm up north that is going to stay up north. However, we have a storm from the south that's going to come up, not past us, but the winds from that storm are going to affect us later in this week. Our 60-degree days are numbered as we go throughout this week. We have possible chance of rain on Wednesday and definite rain on Thursday. In recorded history, this is the first time we've seen no rain for the past 8 days of March. It is 65 degrees outside today, breezy throughout the day, and look for a possible chance of rain this evening. Thanks for listening. I'm Emma. Back to you, Tegan.
Thank you, Emma, for the updates. While everyone has been out enjoying the weather, WAtv stopped by Mr. Mack's room to catch up.
Hey, WATv, welcome. What you doing here?
Just wanted to ask you some questions, if that's okay.
Oh, sure. Come on in. Listen, I'm just cleaning up in the lab, so let's go back here and we can keep talking. So, what are these questions about?
Just your life. You know, there's some things about teachers that students don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, great. So, what is it you wanted to know?
So, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Every day I have the same thing. I just have oatmeal. Nice hot oatmeal. It's great.
What are 3 things that you can't live without?
There's a lot of things I can live without, but the things I can't live without is I can't live without the Lord. I can't imagine living without my wife. And I don't know what the 3rd thing would be, but those are the 2 most important things that I couldn't see living without.
What's your favorite element on the periodic table?
You know, I do have a favorite element, as weird as that sounds. We have something here that begins with the letter K, but that's potassium. But K is the letter of my first name, so potassium is my favorite one.
Who is your celebrity doppelganger?
There's actually 2 guys, and they're very close by. They are celebrities at Wheaton Academy. Mr. Dykema and Mr. Holtrup. We're all handsome guys, so we get confused sometimes.
What's your spirit animal and why?
I am a swimmer, and I absolutely love getting in the water. And so Kermit the Frog, he is my spirit animal if there is one.
What's the best advice you give your teenagers?
I was always so concerned about who was looking at me and what I was doing that the advice that I would go back and say is, hey, just be yourself. Don't worry about what other people think, but just be who God made you to be, and don't think that everybody's watching you, because they're really not.
Thanks, Mr. Mack. That's all we have time for today.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you stopping by. It's good to talk with you. Have a good day. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for spending some time with us, Mr. Mack, and helping us get to know you more. Now, on to some announcements. Don't forget to set your clocks ahead an hour this upcoming Saturday evening. We will all lose an hour of sleep, but gain an extra hour of light in the evening. The Shack contest is still going on through Friday of this week. All design entries need to be submitted to Mr. Strzelka's email, and then club members will vote on a design. Try to incorporate school colors, submit multiple designs if you want, and keep it simple. We want your ideas. The mock trial team competed this past Saturday in a 23-team invitational. All the trials were conducted virtually on Zoom. This preparation match was to get the team ready for this upcoming weekend, as they will be competing in the state mock trial tournament, along with 48 other schools. The basketball seniors were celebrated last night at their senior night games. Both teams managed to come away victorious. We want to make sure we recognize those seniors that have put a lot of hard work for their 4 years at Wheaton Academy. For the boys, Jack Oswald, Gabe Sams, and Bryce Swift all had a huge impact on our program. And for the girls, Kelly Bickhart, Geraldine Blackman, Peyton Collins, and Brooke Hermes all did a great job of leading their teams this year. Congrats to all the seniors. For your 4 things you need to know for this week, here's Catherine Yu.
Thanks, Tegan. I'm Catherine Yu, and I'm here to give you 4 things you need to know. Number 1, we have a tons of birthdays this week. Mrs. Roberts celebrated hers yesterday. Today is Mr. Flinsky and Mr. Sesnoffs. And Mrs. Main, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Bowling, Mrs. Urban, and Ms. Young all celebrate theirs this weekend. Number 2, Brett Kroll spoke to us for chapel today. And for Thursday, we will be hearing from Mrs. Heavey. Number 3, don't forget to create and submit those designs for the new face of the Shack, Wheaton Academy's new food truck. And number 4, we will be live streamed on Saturday. Mr. Wah will be live streamed on Saturday at 7 p.m. Go to wheatonacademy.org/WAH2021 to watch the event and learn more ways to contribute to the Project League Global fundraiser for Kids Alive. And to learn a little bit more perspective on the contestants of Mr. Wah, check out this video.
Man, have you ever seen the movie Dr. Dolittle? Okay. If you said yes, then I would probably be a lot like him because I think I can talk to animals somewhat, and if there was a penguin just happened to be in my freezer, I think that was on purpose.
I think I would just leave it. I don't really know what I'd do with it, if I'm going to be honest, because I don't really like penguins. They're not that cute, in my opinion.
I'd say a penguin because I can. Sorry, buddy. You can. I'm pretty like agile on land like a penguin, but I'm also slippery, and I like to. When I sled, I don't use a sled. I just go on my belly, as in a penguin does. And I can also fly. If you didn't know, penguins can fly. For all you bird. Yes, they can. That's what you think.
I'd be a pig. I like bacon, and I think
that's cannibalism.
But being a pig would be, I think it'd be fun.
You know, actually, Drew actually reminds me a lot of a penguin, and so I think if I saw him in my freezer, I wouldn't be that surprised because I've seen penguins there before.
That's easy for me. It's gonna have to be Waterfalls by the Wildlife. I've never seen a waterfall. I have been sad before, so that song and I have a lot in common.
For me, it's got to be Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker. You know, sometimes I just like to roll down the windows and just, you know, even though I'm not necessarily in a wagon, I'm in a truck, but, you know, just blast it. It's got those good bluegrass vibes.
I would use the Grubhub theme as my walking song. Because every time I'd walk in the room, I would say the kind of deals that make you boogie.
I would go to the table and I'd be like, oh, we have some grapes for dinner? I know it goes perfectly with grapes. I'll get them and I'll dip them in ketchup. So I thought that's the best. That's what everyone loves.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Love some ketchup with my grapes. No. I like to add, like, sweeten up my life a little. So when I would have oatmeal, I would take these sprinkles and just start pouring it on, you know. You'd be like, is that enough? Nope. Keep going. Just sprinkles and oatmeal.
Unlike Matt Ellison,
I am a civilized person, and I put ketchup on things that is supposed to be put on.
Thanks, Catherine. That will do it for this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at WAtv. And of course, for all of us at Studio 22, have a great day.